Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. First things first, let me check the audio. Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. First things first, let me check the audio. I can't quite tell. It sounds a little bit Poundland Wally-ish, but not quite there. I can't quite tell. It sounds a little bit Poundland Wally-ish. Okay, it sounds like it's figured itself out. Nice, nice. Is it still balked for you, Gagad? Because it didn't sound it for me then. It sounded like it thought about it, but then... Sounded it for me then. No, it sounds good to me. It sounds good. It sounds okay. It sounds okay. I'm going to continue, but better now. Yeah, bizarre. I was killing shit off before we came live. In the back end, that's what she said. Mr. Garlic Clark is in the chat. Hey! Welcome in, everyone, especially Garlic Clark. For those of you who don't know, my name is Graham. Hi. And this is the man that we call Bibby. Like
Good morning.
That's the only way you can say his name, by the way. You can't say it any other way because that would be criminal. No, sometimes it's Bibby. To be fair, it does change quite a bit. Never mind. My name is Graham. This is Bib, and we are Ice Cream Uploads. But you hopefully know that because the name is on the channel. Just kind of like just there. Yeah, nice. Anyway, welcome in. We, as mentioned, are Ice Cream Uploads, and this, in true ice creamy fashion, is the Scoop, your daily dose of news from the world of video games and beyond. And some may say, being us, may say the UK's #1 video game podcast, and we would be right, at least in our opinions anyway. It can be us too, just let us know if that's the case. Anyway, we're going to give you our thoughts and our impressions on the biggest, the best, and the breaking stories from the world of video games, and we want your thoughts and impressions on our thoughts and impressions. We do go live on Twitch each and every single weekday at 10 a.m. Ish. 10 a.m. Ish. It's 3 minutes past 11. We go live at 10 a.m. ish on twitch.tv/Ice Cream Uploads. And anyone that is live with us, please feel free to get involved in the chat. We want your thoughts and opinions because we turn this live stream into a podcast, a YouTube video, and an audio podcast on iTunes, Spotify, SoundCloud, and Google Play. All those people get to watch and listen on demand. Please feel free to hit the like button on YouTube. I said lick, but I meant hit, but lick it if you want. I mean, whatever. It's fine. Hit the like button, not lick it, if you are liking this. But anyone that's in the chat, please feel free to use your voice on behalf of those watching and listening on demand a little bit later. And I can see there are a lot of names in the chat, so I will drop in there and say hello in just a few minutes. But before that, just a reminder, ! loot drop, all one word, will give you all the details you need to know how to bag yourself a potential free prize every month. Gary Clark, that's Gary Clark and not Garlic Clark. Don't want to mix the two up, obviously. Did bag this month's loot drop prize on the first Monday of the month, which was the 1st of February. The 1st of March will be the next loot drop. So if you're a subscriber, make sure you type ! loot drop to find out how you could be bagging yourself extra prizes. It's an exclusive sub-only giveaway, so the prize rewards are pretty high compared to other things. And it's just a nice little way that we can give back to you guys. As well as that, I can't not say it because, I am destroying one of these at the moment. This is not a spawn. This is me actually just eating flapjack for breakfast and throwing it all over the room. Nice, great plan. ! Muscle Moose. We are partnered with the lovely people at Muscle Moose, and they've provided us with a huge 25% discount code. So if you want to buy yourself any Muscle Moose products, not only the flapjacks, which I may have a few of, just a few, but there's also energy drinks in there, chips, beaver bars, which are basically nice, sexy, chocolatey bars, all the way through to chocolate mousse, whatever you want. Go to type in ! Muscle Moose if you're interested. You get yourself a 25% discount code there. We don't earn anything on that, so we're not paid to say this. It's just a nice little community code that they've given for us to give to you. So there you go. Anyway, Mr. Bib.
Hello.
I see you are fully crashed out this morning. Let me go big Bib.
Hey.
Not just hat today, we've got t-shirt as well.
Yeah, I've even put the purple lights on at the beginning of the show rather than you telling me after 10 minutes.
Beautiful. Nailed it. How's things, babe?
Good. How are you?
I'm good as I just drink conveniently from my Muscle Moose embranded cup. That wasn't intentional, that, by the way. But there you go, nice. Yeah, not too bad. Let's jump back through the chat then. Lake, who is here this morning and to our detriment, hasn't been as careful with his autocorrecting as he was yesterday. Lake, how's things? Lake, welcome in. If you don't know what the autocorrect reference is, I'm not going to mention it again. It is in our Discord, so feel free to jump in there to check it out. But it was beautiful. Good morning, Lake. How's things? Mike as well, with the 6-month tier 1. For some reason, that is not in my activity feed either. Is that in your activity feed?
No. Oh, Mike. Sorry. Yes, at the top 10 minutes ago. Hey.
It's in my activity feed on my Stream Manager, but not in Streamlabs. So I mean, it came through. Yeah. Do you know what, Mike? This will be a gifted sub from Mr. Gary Clark to Precision, but this is your alert.
Stay frosty.
Yeah! Precision, enjoy Mike's 2-month sub. Thank you very much for 6 months, Mike. Appreciate it, dude. How are we doing today? He says, yeah, not too bad, mate. Not too bad. How's things? Are you good? How's uni? What the hell? What the hell? Oh, that's... Bibs has just resubbed. Did you not resub, like, just the other day?
Well, I logged into the chat to see whether or not I could see it on there, and it said, announce you 30 months. And I was like, yeah, okay. So I just pressed it and it's come through.
Well, thank you for 30 months, Bib. Appreciate it. Yeah, much appreciated. But yeah, how are we all doing? Mike, yeah, good. How's uni? How's all the work? Hopefully everything's good for you there. Enix is here. Good morning. Good morning. Mr. Fatman Dave as well. I'll read. Mr. Paul. How's things? Not Mr. Paul as in like Logan Paul or anything. This is like the superior Paul. Is this countdown to give Bibs time to do his hair? No, it was only 3 minutes, mate. There's nowhere near enough time there. Woo! Gargad says, good morning-ish, gents. Paul saying, phenomenal intro there. Shout out to the design posse at Jelly. They have done us justice with that intro. It's good. It's good. Thank you. I'm glad you like it. I'm glad you like it. Balked, but better now, says Gargad. If it does balk again, do let me know. Garlic Clark says, what's popping? Okay, let me click this. I want to see what this is. Let's go to the split screen. And then let me bring this up full screen. I want to see what this clip is from Garlic Clark in the chat. This is MC Fixer, and it says, what's popping?
Garlic Clark, what's popping?
Oh, beautiful. That's amazing. Once again, if you're new here, the Garlic Clark situation, it's actually gone out of control. I didn't expect it to be such a big thing. So yeah, Gary Clark followed MC Fixer. MC Fixer called him Garlic Clark. I took a clip of it. Now Garlic Clark exists on Twitch, on Twitter, and has not only followed us, but has just dropped a follow on MC Fixer as well. So whoever that is, I still don't want to know who that is. I do want to know who it is, but I don't want to know who it is.
I've got an idea who it is.
Because the mystery is incredible. Is incredible. But thank you very much, Garlic Clark. Good morning. Enix says garlic bread. Garlic Clark says not garlic. Gary Clark says morning. Enix Pikachu eats Garlic Clark, recovers 60 HP. Number 1 Pirates. Good morning. He says DJ Bibster. Hello guys. West is here. Word up, homies. Enix says Craig is a god. West says the real Garlic Clark. Gary says, I know who it is for sure. Asim says, you are all Garlic Clark. I mean, my guess was that it was Mr. T. Bibby's guess was that it was Pirate. And I don't want to ask either of them directly because that spoils the illusion. So I don't want to know. I mean, I do want to know, but I don't want to know. But apparently, Garlic Clark isn't the only... MC Fixerism that we could have in the chat. Is that the case?
No. So I got Garlic Clarked this morning as I went over. We've got Badingo. We've got Badingo when I arrived this morning.
Shout out to we've got Badingos.
So I mentioned that I got Garlic Clarked and I knew exactly who it was straight away. He's like, "Oh no, you ice cream! Like you can stay over there. Come in here and you give me a rough time."
Oh, amazing. So yeah, if you want to call Bibby Badingo from now on, that's fine. We've got Badingo. There we go. Just want to point out as well, let me seeing as we are mentioning his name a lot, MC Fixer. Boom. I believe he's live right now. I may be wrong, but MC Fixer, good guy. Feel free to go check him out. We are taking the mick, but at the expense of all of us, not him. So we aren't taking the piss out of him, even though he is unwittingly the one that's at the centre of it. So shout out to MC Fixer. I wish I was witty enough to be Garlic Clark, says Mr. T. Pirate says, I agree, we are all Garlic Clark. FIFA or Fortnite says, Manny shouted you out. What, is he live? Is Manny live now, or are you talking yesterday-ish? Because he's the guy. He's the guy. He is, man. Oh, he is live. He's playing FIFA. Hey, today. Nice. Well, tell him that we like him very much. I mean, I'll tell him anyway when I'll be speaking to him at some point today. So I'll tell him then. But good morning, FIFA or Fortnite. Welcome back. He is live. Well, there you go. Anyway, we are live. So let's get back in the room. Let's focus in that. So if you are new here, if you don't know what this is The Scoop, as mentioned, your daily dose of news from the world of video games and beyond. And we will kick things off today with something that is probably a response to a news article from earlier on in the week. And that is that Amazon's new CEO says it is not done making video games, despite problems. Though we haven't consistently succeeded yet, I believe we will if we hang in there. This is written by Jon Porter at The Verge. Actually, let me just rephrase. This isn't actually in response to something earlier in the week. This is kind of in the same sort of ballpark. I'm mixing it up in my head with Stadia news. So Stadia has changed its strategy after a bit of a lackluster start, i.e. they've kind of given up. Amazon also had a lackluster start with Crucible, but they have their own system in Luna and stuff, so it's in the same ballpark, not necessarily a continuation, but this is Amazon's response. No doubt there's a lot of questions around whether additional streaming providers can take up a foothold in the industry, and this is what they have to say. Amazon's incoming CEO, Andy Jassy, says he's committed to Amazon's video game development efforts in response to a damning report from Bloomberg last week about the problems facing the team. Quote, some businesses take off in the first year and others take many years, Jassy wrote in a staff email. That was end quote, by the way, seen by Bloomberg. Quote, though we haven't consistently succeeded yet in Amazon Game Studios, I believe we will if we hang in there, end quote. Open quotes again. Being successful right away is obviously less stressful, but when it takes longer, it's often sweeter, Jassy continued. I believe this team will get there if we stay focused on what matters most. Let me just change my Discord to do not disturb because all of the alerts pinging up there. That was my Discord, not yours, by the way. Just checking. If you're checking your Discord, it was me. It's fine. So the message comes at a critical time for Amazon Game Studios, the e-commerce giant's video game development arm. The decision to set up the division reportedly came directly from outgoing Amazon CEO Jeff Bezos, who recently announced he is stepping down from the position later this year to be replaced by current Amazon Web Services head Andy Jassy, with the company reportedly spending almost $500 million a year on its as yet unsuccessful video game division. It's important that it has the support of the incoming CEO. Bloomberg's previous report alleged that Amazon Game Studios has faced a host of problems, including a studio head who lacks experience in video games, a painfully slow in-house game engine, and a bro culture that doesn't give women the same opportunities as men. In response to the report, studio head Mike Frazzini has reportedly emailed the team saying there's zero tolerance for anything less than a fully equitable and inclusive environment. In his email this week, Jassy expressed support for Frazzini. Despite Jassy's support, Amazon Game Studios is still facing challenges. Last year, it released and then pulled and cancelled Crucible, a hero shooter that drew inspiration from Overwatch. Another of its tentpole games, New World, was also delayed, while a video game adaptation of the Grand Tour was released to such poor reviews in 2019 that it was later removed from storefronts. Amazon Game Studios might have the support of Amazon's next CEO, but it's got a long way to go if it wants to earn the support of players. So, Andy Jassy there with comments from Amazon. Just before we get into that, just want to point out that Gary Clark is in the chat saying, Jassy Jeff, hey, summertime. Bib, Amazon Game Studios, shitloads of resources, shitloads of money, and shit all to show for it, really, so far. What are your thoughts on them? Do they have a future in video games?
I think that is kind of all riding on New World at this moment in time, innit? I think depending on how big of a success this game will be. I mean, I'm fairly certain it's still in development now. I think we got a closed beta towards the end of last year, and we are expecting to see this game at some point. Well, it's just that it's been delayed, so it could be later on this year. I'm not too sure. I really should have probably looked at that. Spring 2021, according to this, from delayed from August to spring 2021. So that should be sometime soon, ish. Could be a couple of months. But anyway, yeah, it feels like it's the entirety of the Amazon Games studio is resting on how well New Order is going to be received and how well it plays. From looking at all the sponsored content that came out when the closed beta was on offer, I think I watched Stroud play it for a couple of hours. He looked like he was enjoying it to an extent. it looked like a Bibby game. So obviously I will be trying to give this a go myself. But yeah, the likes of Crucible coming out and failing within the sake of 6 months and then getting pulled, that's not a good start. And like you said in the article, if you can have all the money in the world, you can have all the best devs in the world, but if you're making games that people aren't wanting to play, then unfortunately the demise is closer than you think.
I think that they've got, how can I put this? They've got, ignoring Lumia, probably a better chance than Google have. Google, I mean, obviously Google have just shut down their internal studios. But Amazon with Twitch have that ace in the hole that Google never had. Obviously Google has YouTube. I'm not saying that Google has no way of speaking to video game content creators or video game content consumers. But Amazon and Twitch have a much more closely ingrained relationship. Twitch is built around video games and has expanded out. Twitch has a launcher for video games, although questionable. Google has YouTube, which was any video in the world ever, and now let's realize that YouTube gaming is a thing, so let's try and make it a thing and then kind of not make it a thing and absorb it back into YouTube. And YouTube doesn't really know where it sits in the world of video games at the moment. They know that they are huge, they know that they are intrinsically linked, but if they can't like leverage their own platform for video games in general, how can they leverage a brand new video game platform? So I think YouTube has the resources, but not necessarily the know-how or the links, whereas Twitch and Amazon give them a much closer and more direct road. The fact that Twitch owns the single biggest source of consumed live video game content anywhere on the planet gives Amazon a good run. That said, they clearly need to do some legwork behind the scenes. If they have someone in charge of the whole thing that doesn't know video game development, then that's you doomed almost. I mean, that's a bit shit. It's maybe not. Someone that's never been in charge of video game development before could come in and be the messiah that nobody never knew. The fact that we haven't had that yet makes me think maybe not. That said, if he also has shitloads of bureaucracy and red tape by working through Amazon and their studios, and then working with an engine that the article said was slow or basically a crap engine, a painfully slow in-house game engine, then Amazon Game Studios need to be going, okay, well, we can develop our own games, but do we need to use our in-house engine? Why can't we just go to Unreal and work with Epic and do it that way? So if they have their own studios, they have their own staff, and they're trying to make their own engines, they can make changes in there that can give us something that ticks the boxes that need to be ticked. I mean, that said, using the painfully slow engine, using this potentially toxic atmosphere in that, they did manage to pull off Crucible whilst it was crap. Well, it wasn't for me. I believe that the mistakes in Crucible were, I mean, heavily expensive, but only because they invested incredibly in it. But I think they could have fixed that. Maybe not to the point where it was a huge success, but they could have fixed that to a game that would appeal to more people by making content and direction decisions rather than studio and development decisions. So I believe in Amazon Game Studios for now, much more than I ever have done or ever did for Stadia. So I feel like they could turn that around and make something out of this. And especially if they've got someone called Jesse Jeff involved, so that helps. That helps.
Yeah, like they said, every game that comes out of the gate isn't going to be an absolute banger, and we shouldn't assume that it is going to be. I imagine they're going to try and create games in a particular set of genres, especially ones that are popular, to try and get people to come in. Obviously, Crucible was the first one of those, and it hasn't worked, unfortunately, for them. So the kind of it's not really like the RPG aspect of New Order is definitely one that I think people will look at and think that's probably a bit more
New World
of me, than the Crucible game. So hopefully people will give this one a try, because it does look good. I mean, the closed beta, the numbers were really good, the game looked good, and that's only a closed beta. They will still be working on the game as well, so hopefully they'll fine-tune the things that people may not have liked, and then we start to get a game that people want to. I don't want any game studio to fail, because at the end of the day, we all end up losing them, because there isn't as many studios creating games that we may end up liking. So I hope that they end up coming through with games that we actually want to play, because Otherwise, they're wasting a lot of time and a lot of money. But yeah, we'll see. I imagine in the next 3 or 4 months we're going to get another look at this game, and let's see if it's one that we actually want to play.
Just looking at the list of games that they have, they've not had the failure that they've had. I wouldn't say is across the board. I know it is across the board, but what am I trying to say? So they've had Crucible, which failed because of marketing and content. Anyone that I know that played Crucible was happy with how it worked mechanically. The game itself worked and was polished, but just didn't resonate. It was another one of those. I mean, even the words within this article. Crucible, a hero shooter that drew inspiration from Overwatch. How many times have you heard that? This game drew inspiration from Overwatch. Is that because Overwatch has provided systems and mechanics that they really want and they're inspired by? Is that because of the character art and this, that, and the other? I mean, it could be in part, but what it really is inspired by is the success of Overwatch. Let's chase that paper. It's like, that's what it is. Crucible was created as a chance to run after the money, follow the money trail, and that's not where the success comes from. The success comes from using that as inspiration, but creating something new, something better, a different avenue that someone hadn't thought of. And Crucible was a different avenue that someone hadn't thought of because nobody wanted to think of something that didn't really resonate or make sense. So, yeah, Crucible failed. New World, they've said that it's been delayed. It has been delayed, but that doesn't necessarily mean it's failed. Crucible wasn't what it needed to be, so they've probably delayed New World to make sure that they give it a better fighting chance. And the Grand Tour game, that failed so badly that it was pulled from storefronts, as it says in the article here. I mean, that doesn't surprise me. Would anyone expect... I know it's called the Grand Tour, but let's just say, would anyone expect a Top Gear game to be AAA or to be world class? If you're playing something like the Grand Tour or a Top Gear sort of game, you expect it to be a bit shit. So that,
gimmicky.
Yeah. So Crucible failing is the first lesson. A New World hasn't failed, and the Grand Tour can just get in the bin. I wouldn't even class that as anything. That's just, let's see what we can do. Let's have a bit of fun. Let's use a license that we've got and just not really take it seriously. So yeah, I think they can crack more eggs in that omelette. Cat stream. The cat's back. There we go. Meow.
Yeah. Should we kick it off and get out? But yeah, like you say, the Top Gear game I put in the same category as the Fast and Furious game. No one expected those games to be great, and lo and behold, it was both toilet. So it's giving us games that we want to play should be their absolute priority, rather than chasing the paper, which may be an easy win. If that was the case, just go and create mobile games and put microtransactions in there. Make it free to play and then put microtransactions in, because I can guarantee more people will probably want to pick it up because it might be a 250 megabyte download, free to play. People will try it. If they like it, they'll carry on. But yeah, just it's easy to say give us a game that we want to play, because obviously that just kind of hinders their creative imagination. But again, I hope that New Order ends up coming through the other side. We end up getting New Order, Jesus, not a band. New Worlds ends up coming through the other side, and we end up getting a game that we actually want to play.
In the chat, Gary says that's such a weird game to make, talking about the Grand Tour. He says, what next? The Great British Bake Off? To be fair, that might help them, because it seems like most of their content so far has been half-baked. So, that could be the experience that they need. Way.
Cooking Mama does really good numbers, so if we want to make a game influenced by that, then they're good to go.
Jordan says that Fast and Furious game was so bad. See, the Fast and Furious game that's less excusable than the Grand Tour, because the Fast and Furious game is based on a narrative, a story, a movie, an action sequence, acting, drama, all of that is video games in essence. So Fast and Furious is a bit more natural. Whoever made the Fast and Furious game just did a really bad job of it. The Grand Tour, though, it's more of a docudrama kind of thing. It's acting and stuff overhyped, but it's also a documentary, and you don't tend to play documentary kind of stuff. So yeah, nobody thinks when you see Dominic Toretto in Fast and the Furious. I want to be Dominic Toretto riding that Dodge car and making it do a wheeler. Nobody thinks, oh, I want to be Jeremy Clarkson and stood in front of a camera taking the piss out of James May. I mean, we'd like to take the piss out of James May, but you don't want to be Jeremy Clarkson. So, yeah, I mean, a little bit different. The Grand Tour was always gonna be shit. Fast and Furious could have been good, but was shit. is what I'm trying to say. Okay, let's jump back a little bit. Gary says Amazon needs to sort out their packaging before doing this. Order a HDMI cable and it arrives in a box the size of a fridge. When we're talking about Jassy Jeff, David says I'd have gone boom shake the room rather than summertime. I mean, that's also a good option. In regards to the packaging statement, Enix says this is true. Ordered 3 PS5 games and got a box for a 48-inch TV. Fun times. PvP is pretty dead in New World. They removed what made it so attractive. They received huge backlash over the removal of WPvP. What's WPvP?
WPvP. World PvP? Yeah, World PvP.
As in, what would class is WPvP?
A World PvP would be like me battling you over the internet rather than like offline PvP where I could just be fighting against an NPC. An NPC in the game, I imagine.
Oh, okay, yeah. Okay. See, I didn't realise that was classed as WPvP. There you go. I've learned something new. I thought that was just PvP in general. So that's nice. It was open world with PvP interactions. I've only ever known it as. I didn't realise WPvP was a phrase. Yeah. Nice.
I would never use PvP in an offline instance. Like it just seems a bit weird, but
well, yeah. Well, that, I mean,
I think PvP. I just imagine like two people on the other side. Well, me fighting you rather than me being fighting against a computer.
See, yeah, I've always just classed it as just another instance of PvP. I mean, I wouldn't say local battle is PvP, but yeah. Jumping down, I can see why they did it, but the quality was shocking, says Enix. Gagad says there are plenty cooking / baking games on mobile. They're crap, but they're there. There's some decent ones as well. Cake Bash, there we go. That's one that we've been involved with. Give that a try. You could tell that none of the movie voice actors in the game wanted to do it so bad. Why is Bib trying to act all sexy? I mean, he is, but that with the chapstick. And then there's a clip. Oh, okay. Let's do the clip. Let's see what it is.
Sorry, I got a dry as fuck. I've got a cold sore coming on, so I've got my Survirax in using that, and then it dries my lips out, so I've got my Stormtrooper chapstick.
Okay, here we go. We need like a. I've been really dry and lipped, Bib. Trying these lips for so long. Wow! Let's lather it on. Wow! Let's lather it on. There you go. You're welcome. This is the type of content that you do not tune in for, so we're going to stop right now. It's okay. Change that back. Close that down. Okay. To be fair, Poke Cafe is doing mega well. It's a Pokemon game. It's got to do even if it's horrible. I don't know if it is, but yeah. World PvP, so you can travel around questing and someone can come and kill you at any time. They made the PvP instance. Okay. I love the maintained eye contact, says Pirate. I was too busy singing. I didn't see it. Is it time for a meme? It's always time for a meme. Bibby getting all done up like KDB is about to walk into his office.
He might do. Me and KDB are best friends.
Yeah. Well, you just spun him on my club this week, so there's that.
I did.
Anyway, let's move ahead. There has been a lot of content over the last 24 hours regarding a different games brand that begins with A. Not Amazon, but Activision Blizzard. So let's jump into that. We've only got one of the stories in today, although there was a bunch more. So if anyone does want to throw in any headlines or top level overviews into the chat, feel free to do that. But we will jump into this one by Tom Ivan at VGC, and it says multiple free-to-play Warcraft mobile games are in advanced development. Blizzard says players will experience the Warcraft universe in entirely new ways. Bib, have you ever been Warcrafted?
Yes.
Would you be?
I have.
Ooh, there was a delay there. I thought you were saying yes to that because when I went Bib, you went yes, but then the answer came through after. I was like, have you ever been Warcrafted? So you have been Warcrafted. Would you play Warcraft on mobile?
No, because I didn't like. Well, to be fair, it was a long time since I played the one on PC, so I've probably been more giving it a chance now. But yeah, ish.
Okay, well, we'll jump into the article and see if that ish changes. So Activision Blizzard has announced that multiple free-to-play Warcraft mobile games are deep in development. CEO Bobby Kotick revealed the news during the publisher's fourth quarter earnings call on Thursday. In our Warcraft franchise, we intend to deliver more frequent premium content to sustain and expand the world of Warcraft community, he said. And we've made multiple mobile, free-to-play Warcraft experiences, and they're now in advanced development based on our franchise's beloved IP. This will create opportunities for both existing players and new fans to experience the Warcraft universe in entirely new ways. Activision said on Thursday that World of Warcraft saw strong engagement across both the classic and modern games in 2020, with full-year franchise net bookings up 40% year over year, reaching the highest level in nearly a decade. Blizzard released World of Warcraft's eighth expansion, Shadowlands, in November 2020, and it sold over 3.7 million units globally on release day, making it the fastest-selling PC game of all time until Cyberpunk 2077 took the record in December 2020. Gutted. During its earnings call on Thursday, Activision Blizzard also announced plans to launch a new premium Call of Duty game in the fourth quarter of 2021, but said both Overwatch 2 and Diablo 4 will not launch until at least 2022. So, World of Warcraft, is it dead, Bib?
In general, the PC version, absolutely not. It will always go stronger and stronger. Every expansion pack that comes out. I mean, we was in the office last year watching people get hyped about the classic World of Warcraft coming back. So that old school players from 20 years ago are coming back and they're replaying the game that they once fell in love with. Obviously, it gets to a certain point where it will start to cross over again, but it could be years from now. Who knows? But it surprised me that they haven't done something like this before on mobile. There is still that old school RuneScape has come back on mobile and took the world again by storm. Like people are streaming it from BlueStacks and things like that, so they can play the mobile version. There's like Perfect World, Adventure Quest, all of these games that have been out on mobile for years to try and hoover up that part of the MMO market. And it's really surprised me that World of Warcraft haven't done a MMO version. Now it does say there's multiple different versions of World of Warcraft on this. We've already got, what was the card game?
Hearthstone?
Was it Hearthstone? That's it. Because I wanted to say Legends of Runeterra, but I think that's League of Legends, isn't it? So they've already got things like card games.
Isn't League of Legends Teamfight Tactics?
Could be. What's Legends of Runeterra?
It's a different one that I don't know because I don't play those games.
Of Runeterra. Published by Riot Games. This game uses characters and settings from League of Legends.
Oh, okay. There you go. I don't know.
Anyway, they've obviously got the card game versions of it. It wouldn't surprise me if they had the chess version of it. What's that called? Auto chess. If they didn't have a version of that coming out with World of Warcraft characters. So, again, trying to cover all bases when it comes to games like this. It wouldn't surprise me if they had like a first-person shooter come out and it'd be with World of Warcraft characters. Obviously, that is a joke. But if again,
CS WoW.
The fact that they haven't had a MMO game on mobile for people to be able to play surprised me, because I think they would have cornered the entire MMO mobile market by this point if they had it done. But I think they will end up doing that once they end up bringing the game out. I don't know how they'd go with it though. Would it be a free-to-play game and then there'd be microtransactions inside it, or would you be able to take your World of Warcraft character from your PC version onto the mobile?
I mean,
would you have to completely start again?
I kind of see yes in terms of the starting again. Just want to shout out Chelsea. Good morning. He says, "Oh hi," and then Bibby, yes lad. I'm assuming CTID is Crash Till I Die in reference to the Crash Bandicoot because nobody would say anything else in Bibby's shot that begins with a C.
Look at these two shaggers as well. Boom. I'm not talking about me and Graham.
Get out of here! Nope. Nope. So does anyone in the chat play Warcraft or has played Warcraft? Would you be interested in playing a Warcraft mobile game? I do agree. In terms of it is bizarre in terms of a game that's been so huge that kind of fits the genre of mobile gaming. It's taken them so long to move over. Like I say, that would have been lock, stock, and barrel. The whole scene would have just been World of Warcraft. But I mean, that said, with a brand that strong. And there may be lapsed gamers. I mean, there are lots of lapsed gamers that have moved into mobile as life has gone on. That could be like, ooh, I could pick up my World of Warcraft anyway. So there's still a huge potential for them there. Pirate says, I have played WoW. Doubt I would play it on mobile though. I haven't. Yeah, what is it that turns you off in that sort of sense? Let me jump back through the previous comments before I lose them off the screen. Enix says, by the way, everywhere is restocking Xbox Series X today if anybody's looking. Shop 2 have just gone live. Well, there you go. If you're after an Xbox Series X, get yourself on Shop 2. Although, by the time I've seen this, the website's probably crashed and gone under from scalpers. Nice. I don't know if it has, but give it a try. Gary says, Activision Blizzard, I bet they're snowed under with everything they're developing. Blizzard, obviously, just in case. There we go. Can we get someone type exclamation mark Garlic Clark in the chat, please? Thank you. Nice. Wonder how long WoW will go on for. I really wish they didn't kill SWG. Is that like Sarah Wichelle Gellar? I don't know what SWG is. Garlic Clark, he's still here. Yeah. Shadowlands reset the lore and leveling system, so it's great for new players to enter. Previously took ages to catch up. It's a card game, right? Okay. I love watching Warcraft. I love Warcraft right up to Warcraft 3, says Lake. I will try the Warcraft mobile for sure. Morning.
To be fair, I would. I do like the concept of it. Sorry, I know I just cut you right up there.
It's rude. I was just saying morning to West, although I think I'd said morning to West previously anyway. So morning again, West. It's all right. Forget Bibby interrupted. Okay, over to you, Bib.
Yeah, I would love to see a World of Warcraft-esque game, an MMO, like on the likes of mobile, but I think they're still missing a massive market, because I think there is only DC Universe Online, which is on the Nintendo Switch, and I know we keep on saying it, but having an MMO-ish type game on Nintendo Switch I think that would bring in so many other people into the MMO world. Like, I remember playing, Elder Scrolls, but I remember playing ESO for the first time on a PlayStation. I thought, I'm playing. And Neverwinter Nights I played first before I even touched ESO on my PlayStation, and it was I streamed it on this channel. I absolutely adored that game, and then ESO came in and taken that by storm. It was the first game MMO game that I'd played since World of Warcraft. I said this a billion times as well. Two of my good friends, Mike and Willis, both played. They wouldn't come out on a Friday night when we was younger, like 18, 19, 20. They wouldn't come out on a Friday night because it was raiding. Like, they spent their entire teenage years and early adult years playing World of Warcraft. So I think having a game like that to try and get, 15, 16, 17, 18-year-olds into the MMO world again, playing it on the Nintendo Switch is a fantastic way to try and bring them in. And we've only got DC Universe, on the Nintendo Switch as an MMO at this moment in time. So I'm surprised ESO haven't gone onto there yet, because it's more than playable on PlayStation. I mean, I restarted it again on my PC to make use of the mods, but having a game like that, I would 100% buy it again. 50 quid ESO on Switch, I would 100% buy it again to go with my 7 million.
Just need to jump in with a caveat that it doesn't matter what platform it is. 50 quid, Bibby absolutely would buy it again. Bibby has bought it again every time.
But I would absolutely give World of Warcraft to go on my Nintendo Switch if it was there. Even if it was the first month free and then I had to pay £7 a month, I would absolutely try it for at least 2 months to see whether or not I've got back into it this time. So I think trying to bring the younger kids, I hate using that word, considering I'm 30 now, to bring the new bringing in the new generation of MMO players, because I would love to know the average age of an MMO player now, because I can guarantee it's still the same people from 20 years ago playing MMOs. I don't know whether or not they're aiming it at a new market. The fact that they're bringing out old school RuneScape and the fact that they brought out old school World of Warcraft tells me that they tried to cater for the same market 20 years ago, because the people who are playing World of Warcraft now and the new versions of it are probably a lot younger than the people who was playing the classic versions of them. Thoughts?
I think it could be. That said, one thing they have done pretty well over the last 12 months. I mean, they said their operating profits, I think it was, is up 40% year on year. That's huge. So maybe the classic hype, and I mean, Shroud pretty much just played WoW Classic for about 3 months exclusively, almost. Others jumped in on there. I think they are doing the right steps in terms of getting into younger markets. So I think you're probably right. Some of the more it's probably almost segregated even the audience into segmented is actually the word I was looking for. So you've got the old school that played it for 20 years, and then you've got the new school that are fresh into it that are over the last few years. So there's probably two different camps in there. I could see with that much of an increase, I could see that being the way that their audience share goes. Wes saying hi again. Hi. Jordan says they were making Final Fantasy 11 into a mobile game. Then after 7 years, finally announced some news and then went quiet again. It's because they just announced Final Fantasy 7 instead and left it at that. No one's going to play anything else when that's there. So that's it. Yeah, there you go. Nice. Elijah says the shine is back. Hey, I'll read. Welcome in.
Stop the shine.
Welcome back, Elijah. Enix says it's me, 30. You know, I'm an MMO player because I've not showered in days and just BO everywhere. Oh, is that because you're an MMO player? I thought that was just the thing. But Enix, I appreciate the contribution on Twitter, by the way, which I have loaded up. Baby meme, when you've got to play Pez at 7, but see the wife at 8. Bow, bow, bow. Nice.
Hey, you got to look good for the wife.
Nice. Okay, I did load up another article. I'm just going to flick through this. So this is sticking with Activision Blizzard, but just to give you a quick oversight, there probably is more articles, but this was the latest one. This one only came out about 40 minutes ago by Andy Robinson at VGC. It says Activision Blizzard confirms new remasters are coming this year. It was previously reported that one in-development title was a Diablo 2 update. Activision Blizzard is planning to release more remastered games this year, it said during its Q4 earnings call on Thursday. The Call of Duty publisher has seen critical and commercial success with its remasters in recent years, including Spyro Reignited Trilogy, Crash Team Racing, and the 10 million selling Crash Bandicoot Insane Trilogy. We're not really big fans of Crash at all on this stream, just as he flicks to big Bib Cam. How are you doing there in that hat and t-shirt, Bib? Nice. We're not fans of Crash whatsoever. It's fine. It's okay. Anyway, back into the news. However, actually no. Last year, Tony Hawk's Pro Skater 1 and 2 received favourable reviews from critics and debuted as the fastest-selling game in the franchise, selling 1 million copies within its first 2 weeks. However, any future Activision remasters will seemingly have to be handled without Tony Hawk's Pro Skater 1 and 2 and Crash Bandicoot Insane Trilogy developer Vicarious Visions, which Activision announced this month had been merged into Blizzard. VGC's Tony Hawk's Pro Skater 1 and 2 review of the game says Vicarious Visions... Okay. It was later reported that the studio had been working on a remaster of Blizzard's Diablo 2 after Blizzard's internal Team 1 group released 2020's disappointing Warcraft 3 Reforged. Elsewhere in its earnings call, Activision Blizzard announced that multiple free-to-play Warcraft mobile games are deep in development, which we know, and that it will release another strong Call of Duty game in the fourth quarter of 2021. To summarise, more remasters are coming this year. Vicarious Visions, who have been involved in previous remasters, like the Insane Trilogy and like Tony Hawk's Pro Skater 1 and 2, have been merged into Blizzard. So they won't deal with them directly, but could potentially do so through other teams within it. So potentially a big year for Activision Blizzard. Potentially. Mobile games, Warcraft crossing that gap, more remasters and updates and all the rest, and BlizzCon just around the corner, so expect more news. Is it this month, BlizzCon? I've seen some news on it this week, and I can't remember. It's just kind of like in one ear and out the other. So BlizzCon.
We generally thought it already started with all this Blizzard news coming out.
Yeah.
It feels like a massive dump of information that would come from something like everyone creating 17 different articles for the same thing.
Yeah.
So they can get the clicks. It always happens.
By the way, feel free to read more on our Tony Hawk's article. Click here. Also, did you know that that Activision Blizzard are releasing this? And as well as that, something else has been cancelled. A Vicarious, and it's just link. Okay, we get it. God damn it. So yeah, that was just from an earnings call rather than BlizzCon. BlizzCon is very soon, so expect more news from that. Anyway, let's jump ahead into our next bit of news. This one is written by Steph Nunneley at VG247. And it says, Metro, Last Light, Redux, and For the King are free on the Epic Games Store. I'm just going to stop you for just a second. I did not know this until I read that title just then. But Metro Last Light is a game that we have worked on. We do work with the wonderful people at Koch Media, so full disclosure on that. But that has absolutely no impact on what I'm about to say. Metro Last Light, Redux, and Metro... what's it called? What was it called?
Last Light?
No, There's Redux is just basically the remastered version. There's the other Metro, not 2033, the other one in it. Exodus, Metro Exodus. There we go.
That's the latest one.
Yeah. So if you, Last Light is older than Exodus. Redux is the remastered version of it, but it looks exceptional. If you've got a PC that can play high-powered games and you want something that looks stunning, this is an exceptional looking game. I probably should have left this article till the end. We usually leave the free games around up till the end, but there we go. I've started it, so let's continue. 2 games are free on the Epic Games Store this week. Your free games this week on the Epic Games Store are Metro Last Light Redux and For the King. For the King is a blend of strategy, turn-based combat, and roguelike elements. Each playthrough is unique with procedural maps, quests, and events. You can play in single player with 2 AI companions, co-op with 1 AI companion, or with 2 other friends. Just beware, if your party wipes, you have to start all over. Metro Last Light is a remastered version of the sequel to Metro 2033 and takes place a year after its events. For the King and Metro Last Light Redux will be free until February the 11th, when they're replaced by Halcyon 6 Lightspeed Edition. And for those that don't know what that is, Halcyon 6 Lightspeed Edition is a space strategy RPG with base building, tactical combat, crew management, and emergent storytelling. It is the enhanced version of Halcyon 6. And then it says, here are some of its features, but that's not out yet, so we're not bothered. We'll leave that there. So if you've got a PC, and you want even more freebies from Epic Games Store, then I can't speak about For the King, but Metro Last Light is genuinely an amazing looking game. If you want something that's hugely atmospheric and you like games where you don't get shitloads of ammo and you have to be conservative and stuff, Metro Last Light is absolutely a game you should try. Tony Hawk's was a great remaster, and same with Crash, wondering what others they could do. Yeah, exactly. Exodus, there you go. Cheers, John. Gagad says, is the Metro still being published considering no one is really using buses and trains at the moment? Well, that's why that's why it's in its last light. So there you go. Do you know, that's a good question. Good question, because the Metro is funded from advertising. The fact it's free, it's paid for by all of the brands that have the wraparound covers and stuff. And if no one's using trains and buses, then the readership has dropped. So they can't charge the same for advertising, surely. So yeah, good question. Good question.
Not in our terms, because I read it every single day to try and find news for you lot.
You do? Yeah, online. Yeah, they do have the online version as well. Although you kind of have to feel metro.co.uk and Metro Print would have to be 2 businesses, because one could easily collapse and take the other down with it. But that's my thoughts. Anyway, Plum Rico says, afternoon all. Not for us yet. It's only 10 to 12. Are you not in the UK, Plum Rico? I didn't actually know. But afternoon anyway. Welcome in. So yeah, if you're after free games, grab them before they disappear next Thursday on Epic. Just a reminder that you do get free games every week on Epic, and they are updated UK about 4 p.m, I think it is, in the afternoon in the UK. So make sure you check that out. And now into the final news article. A Pokémon fan has been arrested for selling hacked Sobble. I don't know what that is, so we'll have to go in. This is written by Tom Phillips at Eurogamer, and the tagline is captured. So the Pokemon series has always encouraged players to look after their Pokemon, raise them right, and defend them against the clutches of Team Rocket. The Pokemon series does not suggest you should genetically modify your Pokemon friends and sell them for money. Nintendo isn't particularly keen on you doing this either. Which brings us to today and the arrest of a 23-year-old Japanese man for allegedly hacking and selling a Sobble. Asahi News via Kotaku reports that the unnamed man was caught selling the modified Sobble to another player for about 4,400 yen, which is about 30 quid, and subsequently gave a confession. But it goes beyond Sobble. The man who is currently unemployed is said to have made 1.1 million yen, about 8 grand, selling thousands of such modified creatures. It's likely this which caught the authorities' attention. Today, Japanese police proudly displayed the computer used to modify the Pokemon in question. That picture is so bizarre. Only last week, the Pokemon Company issued a sternly worded warning to hackers of Pokemon Sword, Shield, and cloud-based storage service Pokemon Home. We have confirmed that some users are playing Pokemon Sword, Shield, and Pokemon Home using illegally modified data, the company wrote. We will regularly monitor and respond to fraudulent and annoying acts so that our users can enjoy themselves with peace of mind. We look forward to your continued support of the Pokemon series. Okay, this. How incredible is this picture that's in the article? Like, that is exceptional. You imagine watching something like The Wire, and you've just got, like, is it Boston PD or wherever it's based, like doing a news conference with desks laid out and having, like, wads of bags full of white powder, shitloads of wads of paper, some Uzis or whatever on the desk. This is all the stuff that we've recovered. But in this instance, we have pretty shit-looking PC tower, a basic monitor, a switch, and then a few images of Pokemon stuff. Oh, that's incredible. GG's to the police officers who stood there with their like name badges on, absolutely loving life there. Oh, incredible. Anyway, I don't know what Sobble is. So if anyone can tell me what Sobble is, then please feel free. But a Pokemon fan has been arrested for hacking Pokemon, essentially. Bib, what are your thoughts?
I've just seen Gary's comment. What are you here for? Killing 6 members of a family. What about you? I'm modding a Pokemon. A bit mental, isn't it? I thought the maximum that they would probably get is like a fine or something, but like, yeah, getting sent down for it. I mean, to be fair, like if you was playing Pokemon and stuff like, are you playing any game and someone was just outright cheating, you'd want the book being thrown at them.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, somebody has had the book.
Just like that analogy of being sat in prison. It's like, imagine sat. Oh, I thought he'd stopped talking. I didn't realise he'd crashed. Oh, he's back. There he is. Sorry, I thought you'd stopped talking. You just kind of went. Froze out. You did. You blue screened again. Sorry, what was that?
Right.
I thought you'd left me a gap to fill, so I was like, okay. I don't. Yeah. What?
No, I was just.
1 second.
This is going terrible.
It's because there's like a 10-second delay. Killing. Bibby.
Hello.
Say boobies.
Bibbies.
Okay. There was still a little bit of a delay then. Say penis.
Yeah. Let me exit the call.
Okay. Say boobies.
Hello.
Okay, that looks better. That looks better. He's back. Okay, what were you saying?
I can't remember now.
Well, what I was going to say was, imagine that conversation of being, what are you in for, killing 6 family members, what are you, a mod of a Pokemon? It's imagine sat there and you've got some guy, like, gold chains and everything. It's like, what are you in for? I ran an empire where I sold illegal products to other people. And then this Pokemon guy going, oh yeah, me too, yeah, pretty much the same here. What did you sell? I sold, I don't want to talk about what I sold, but it was very profitable. I sold, in street value, probably 2, 3, 4 million pounds worth a month. What did you sell? About 4,400 yen. Okay, and what's that? 30 quid. Hey! Get out of here. 30 quid, time in prison. Ah, poor guy.
Mental.
Poor guy. I mean, I completely agree. 30 quid. Illegal, cheating. You still deserve the slap on the wrist, but ouch. If you're gonna do it, at least earn it. In prison, Bear Road man. Also in prison, Bear Route 36 man. Pirate says Sobble is not even a good Pokemon. Yeah, exactly. Plum Rico, yup, London, just been a long day at work. Oh, okay, there we go. Well, 4 minutes. Happy afternoon, mate. Welcome in. Fatman Dave says, how long till someone starts the RSPCP, Royal Society of Prevention of Cruelty to Pokemon? I mean, what can you do? Do you know, I'm going to Google Sobble, because I only recognise 151 Pokemon, and then I'll accept that there may be others, the odd one or two that I'm fond of, kind of thing. But there's still 151. But Sobble,
I genuinely have no idea.
Images of Sobble. It's just an is this a starter Pokemon? Because what it looks like is, without seeing it, without knowing anything about it, I'll put it on screen. Without seeing it, it looks like it's a water starter. That's a lazy ass version of a water starter if I've ever seen one. It might not be. You could be telling me something else, but that looks like. I mean, you got Squirtle, yeah, and then you get the likes of Oshawott, and it's just. Is that what it is? Yes, it's a starter. See, without even knowing, you can tell from looking at a Pokemon that is starter. That absolutely has to be. So someone's basically modded Squirtle, but Squirtle's like mega inferior 7th cousin or something like that. Nice. Sobble's Evos are so bad. Inteleon is the biggest disappointment to a starter Pokemon going. I only choose water starter, and I avoided it like the plague. Get out of here! 5 Pokemon, by the way. Charizard, all the way. Just saying. I mean, I could choose water Pokemon, but I don't like an easy game at the beginning. Anyone knows that fire is the most difficult to start off with in Pokemon Red and Blue. So I'm just a real man that likes a challenge. That's what it is. What Pokemon did you choose, babe?
I don't play Pokemon, mate. Bulbasaur. I just love Bulbasaur. Fucking get over it.
Get out of here. Okay, we are going to wrap things up on that horrendous bombshell. I apologise. I'm joking. Bulbasaur's a good one. Before we do wrap things up, first of all, please let us know which starter Pokemon you would choose. I mean, you don't even have to name a specific one. Is it grass? Is it fire? Or is it water? Just let us know in the chat. Please feel free. And whilst you're doing that, Bib, we're going to disappear, but is there anything else that you would like to add?
Yes, again, thank you very much for joining us this entire week. It's Friday. Yay! So, yeah, thank you very much for joining us. If you do want to be a part of the show, there's 2 ways that you can do that. First of all, find us on social medias at Ice Cream Uploads across all major social media platforms. The second way, get into our Discord. There is an area in there called The Scoop. All we need from you is a URL. Add your thoughts and impressions. We will then give you thoughts and impressions at the very next show, which are what time on Monday morning? I'm just going to Instagram Day.
Quickly check the calendar, and I can confirm without actually looking at any form of calendar that it's 10 a.m. ish. 10 a.m. ish. Shout out to Pirate for dropping the social links and the Discord links in the chat. What a guy. So yeah, 10.
I did it. Sorry, I did look at the ones that you guys, Robbo and Fatman Dave, ended up putting in. It didn't quite fit the show today, and I haven't ignored them. I did thank you for them. It just didn't quite fit in the show today. So again, sometimes it may not get used. I just don't want to feel like I'm just ignoring you all. But sometimes they'll fit. I did properly ignore you. Fuck you, guys!
Gagad says, whatever leads to Growlithe, nothing leads to Growlithe. Growlithe's just a Growlithe, and you catch that in the wild. Although Growlithe is pretty much a dog version of Charmander, so yes, we'll take that. Nice. Gary says, check my tweet. Before we disappear then, whilst I'm looking for this tweet, Bib, is there going to be any additional content on the channel today?
Yes, there will. It may be in like an hour's time because I've got a few worky bits that I need to get done before I go back live, but and Asimov, this is fantastic news to his ears. The EPGA Tour has started over by 2K yesterday. So I'm going to hop onto the course. I'm going to go and get my golf gear on, and we're going to play however many rounds it is in the first. I think it's only 1. I need to read into it more. I just seen the tweet yesterday.
I mean, I know the letters of the alphabet. I've heard of E and P and G and A, but what is the EPGA, Bib?
It's the esports version of a golf game. So it's for the PGA Tour 2K21 game, and it's just their esports version of it. I think we're playing at the waste management course, so we will be hopping onto that in around about an hour's time. As I said, I have this is only a part-time thing I've got we've got a full-time job, so I want to make sure that I get all that done ahead of the weekend. So in roughly about an hour's time, I'll be jumping back on and we'll be able to play some video games.
Nice. So yeah, feel free to join us back for then. Obviously, if you drop a follow on the channel, it's free to do so. If you drop a follow on the channel, you will get notified when Bib does go live with the EBBC FGCSE PGA Tour 2K EPGA Tour in around an hour-ish or so. Before then, though, there we go. When you sub to MC Fixer's Twitch channel and you think it's safe. Look at that picture of We've Got Badingo right there. Hey. Speaking of MC Fixer, we will drop a raid now, seeing as it's going to be around an hour or so until we come back on. So we will drop a raid on MC Fixer. So if you want to know where these memes are coming from, feel free to follow the raid. Not only do you get extra channel points for that, but we can show him a little bit of love. So please feel free to say good morning, and then we'll see you back here in about an hour. Nice. Okay, well, I won't be back. Bib will, though. So from me, have yourselves a fantastic day, and stay frosty.